off. All right, here we are. Hello, everybody. What is up, and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Liz, your host here at Crimes Untold, and today we are kicking off our Crimes on Pride Month. If you are new here, first time stumbling upon, I am Liz. I talk about true crime, and last year I started my Crimes on Pride Month, which is the whole month of June. Last year I tried to do every single day. I ended up going on a vacation, so that kind of hindered it, but I will have a multitude of videos for you this year, so if that piqued your interest, I highly suggest you hit that subscribe button, turn your post notifications on to all, that way you know whenever I upload. Don't forget to follow me over on TikTok. I am also on TikTok. I'll put my handle somewhere on the screen for you. That way you can just take that, put it into TikTok, and then follow me over there. Let's get into today's true crime case, shall we? So, in a particularly brutal case in the United States, on March 14th of 2007 in Winetta, Florida, 25-year-old Ryan Keith Skipper was found dead from 20 stab wounds and a slit throat. His body had been dumped on a dark rural road less than 2 miles from his home. His two alleged attackers are that of William David Brown Jr., who was 20, and Joseph Eli Bearden, who's 21. They were both indicted for robbery and first-degree murder. So, highlighting their malice and contempt for the victim, the accused killers allegedly had driven around in Skipper's blood-soaked car and bragged about killing him. According to the Sheriff's Department's affidavit, one of the men stated that Skipper was targeted because he was a faggot, and that is a direct quote from the affidavit. It is said that Brown claimed that Skipper made some sexual advances towards him, and he killed him in response, basically in retaliation for somebody coming on to him. So the night of the murder would go like this. At 9 p.m. on March 14th, 2007, Skipper met up with Carl von Hamon for dinner after he finished work in Winter Haven. These two would then leave at about 10:30 p.m. from the restaurant that they were at. Skipper would make it back home, and his roommate Kelly Evans would see him enter his room. Von Hamon would talk to him on the phone at approximately 11:10 p.m. So at around midnight, this is when Skipper met up with Bearden. Sometime after this is when Skipper, Bearden, and Brown left in Skipper's car. About 15 minutes later, Bearden and Brown arrived back alone. And then What happened is Skipper was beaten and repeatedly stabbed a total of 20 times, and his throat was slit. If that wasn't enough, they also dumped his body like trash on the side of the road, of a random road in Winetta, which is a teeny tiny town outside of Winter Haven. So his car would be found abandoned in Lake Pansy. There was fingerprints from both Brown and Bearden inside the vehicle as well, so they didn't even attempt to try and clean up after themselves. Bearden was convicted on second-degree murder with an additional 4 charges back on February 27, 2009. Ultimately being sentenced to life in prison on the charge of murder, he was sentenced to 2 15-year terms and 2 5-year terms as well for the remaining 4 charges that he had against him. All of these terms are said to be served concurrently, which means they're served all together, one after another. Brown was found guilty on first-degree murder charges, arson, robbery, and tampering with evidence on November 3rd of 2009. He was sentenced to life without parole, a 15-year term, a 5-year term, and another life term for robbery. So that, my friends, is the tragic slaying of Ryan Keith Skipper. I hope you guys learned something from this, and I will see you guys in my next one.